Okay, so
the Metroids. Oh, bother.
yeah. Oh, bother me. So we got level 3, level 2 security doors open, which are green. A little weird, playing Super Metroid before this.
Same level?
You're thinking like, oh, so I got these green doors. That means I got to get, super missiles to open them. And it's like, no, it's just the next security door.
What's up with the sand here?
So, in case you haven't noticed so far, all of these sectors are named after what they pretty much are themed around. Except for Sector 1, which is just the SR388 ecosystem. Sector 2 was very tropical, so it's TRO. Sector 3 is very desert-like and heavily fire-based, so it's PYO, as in Pyro.
Pyre.
Level 4 was Aqua, AQA.
Water temple.
Later on, definitely. Sector 5 is... Oh, I have to look at that one again. I don't remember that one off the top of my head. But it is cold-based, so I'm going to assume something based off the Arctic.
Ice. CRY.
Yeah. Sector 3 shouldn't be PYR, it should just be HOT, hot. And Sector 6 is the Nocturnal region, so that's NOC.
Knock.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to trigger the boss, technically.
Nocturne in the Moonlight.
So let me get this. Yeah, there you go. Japanese Symphony of the Night.
Uh-huh.
And what do you trigger? What boss did
that right there, going close to that door triggers the boss. And right now, we got the security robot. As soon as I actually make him move.
Oh, it's a drone.
The overdrive ostrich.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a desert.
That's right, and then you took the speed booster from it, so it's trying to get it back.
So the security robot here, a box. The abbreviation is box. I don't know what that's supposed to stand for. You can only hit him in the center of the units. So it's actually a pretty standard boss. I mean, what I'm doing here is the go-to right to beat him without speed running the fucking thing. If I was speed running, this guy would be dead.
He has a brain?
Over. Yeah, he has a neural network in his central system.
It's a bioweapon.
Yeah. Oh, so I know what's getting infested by the parasite later. Yeah, because right now we don't know that thing's infested by an X-parasite. We just assume it went rogue. Damn AIs.
What? It's stealthy and comes up behind you with knives.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a different kind of rogue. I hearkened back to my Warcraft days for a second there.
Yeah, there's actually a rogue class in 14 as well. So
do you think Do you think it's
they rock knives too?
Do you think it's Skynet?
No. There is an energy tank and a few items up there. I know that I'm deliberately ignoring until now because I'm revisiting this area and all other areas later on when I have upgrades. Because when it comes to 100%ing Fusion, it's not as ironically streamlined as Super Metroid, where you can get a lot of items along the way to all four or five bosses. I don't remember how many bosses were in Super Metroid.
So basically, you're going to get all
there
your
were four in that
upgrades.
big statue, and then there were some mini bosses. The Crocomire, stuff like that.
At some point, after we fight a certain space pterodactyl, Ridley, if you know
how many other space pterodactyls do we fucking know of?
Yeah.
Yeah, that comment expired yesterday because that was definitely a spoiler.
Yeah. Once we defeat Ridley in this game, then the rest of the game opens up, and we have to technically revisit every single sector in a row.
Every time I hear Ridley, I'm like one letter away from Wrigley, the gum.
Yeah.
Well, around where I live, we have an area called Ridley Park, and I'm almost afraid to go there.
And then you find out it was named after the director Ridley Scott. It's like, oh, that Ridley.
Oh yeah,
you gotta worry about those aliens.
Yeah, that doesn't help me with my fear in going there.
Incoming dispatch.
Hey, Matt. When it's Wrigley, instead of Ridley, it's a giant pack of juicy fruit.
Nah, he's evil. Big Red.
We're being watched.
No, it stabs you with its tail, so it's spearmint.
Yeah.
Twice. Doublemint.
Yeah.
Are we missing a flavor?
Winter fresh.
Oh, you have to go back to the cold area.
Yeah. Well, not yet. We're getting into a dark area. What's a dark gum?
The 5 gum. They have a black.
Oh yeah, they do.
That prankster gum in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the one that he gives to Francis.
There's a prankster gum.
Was it that turned your teeth and gums black?
Yeah. Well, like your saliva turned black.
Oh god.
It freaked out Francis's father or Butler or whatever the fuck it was.
That scared the fuck out of me too.
Yeah.
It's like you have chewing tobacco.
Okay, so we are supposed to be heading to Sector 5 right now, but the area is ice cold, and they don't want to send this in there without proper suits. So there's actually a fusion to other sequel to Other M, and they learned from their mistake of Sector 3 and Other M.
Is there any reason I can't go there? It's very cold.
It's very cold.
So what?
Yeah.
Your tits are gonna cut diamonds, lady. You don't want to be down there.
So now,
go down here and get the jacket upgrade.
yeah. So right now we are heading to Sector 6. We're heading to Sector 6 to get the various suit upgrade.
Sector Burlington.
Yeah.
BUR.
Yeah.
This is Sector Burr.
Sector 5 shouldn't be fucking ice. It should be BRR. Yeah, burr. It's just cold. It's just really fucking cold, all right? Oh, man. I don't know what area I hate the most when it comes to getting all the items.
Where are you? Is your visor emitting a flashlight?
Yeah. I would assume so. It's actually a detail in, like, I think Prime does it, too. Like, if you're in an area, your visor does glows in the dark.
Cool.
Yeah, it's probably got a night vision set up in it.
Yeah.
Just so you can see
But not
everything
thermal
through.
vision. That's separate.
No, you need a power up for that.
Yeah.
And your X-ray vision.
Whoa.
Unfortunately, some parasites from Sector 5, the cold region, have migrated to Sector 6. And since we are still very vulnerable to cold temperatures, blue parasites, for the time being, are a huge no-no. And I did not want to shoot that one. There you go.
And
So
you can't seem to kill them either.
No.
But
you
it
can
stuns
only-
them.
You can only stun them. Ah! Where'd you come from? Oh, I'm in hell! Hell has indeed frozen over, and it's dark.
You have 5
Hell
packs.
is deathly cold.
Yeah, you have 5 packs of Winter Fresh there.
There we go. We got
There you
Winter
go,
Fresh
Winter
in
Fresh.
there.
There we go. It's icy cool. Oh, but they give me an energy tank.
Oh, you got some ecstasy. Cool.
Just to...
Don't do drugs.
Actually, these are blue pills. It's like Ted Lancelot, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Oh, this wall's in our way.
Because you did drugs.
Oh, fuck, it's blocked by power bombs.
That's not. That's
whoa.
Whoa!
Uh-oh. It's the saxophone.
It's Kenny G, everybody.
Yeah. Sax on the beach.
Everybody always tell me.
Okay, here's what we can do. Here's what we do. Every time SAX comes up on the screen, we play Careless Whisper. Why'd you do that?
Why did you do that?
Because it's faster. And SAX, as threatening as it is rock stupid. As I will...
Does it go through walls? Oh, it goes through doors.
Worst bounty hunter ever.
When I find you... Like, if I find you, when I find you.
I will find you. And I will kill you.
Unless you hide in the most obvious little alcove possible, in which case I probably won't see
Yeah,
you.
it's so obvious, she assumes it's some sort of trick and ignores you.
That's
She
too obvious.
gives your intelligence too much credit.
Like, that's too obvious. She can't possibly be there.
Yeah, that's way too fucking obvious. Yeah, I should have just taken those blue parasites because we got an eye door here, and of course they're gonna drop away parasites.
There you
Thankfully
go.
now, because we got super missiles and a charge. Hey, you dick! That's my various suit.
Neener, neener, neener.
I'm shaking my cannon at you.
I don't have arms and legs, but
Yeah.
I'm wearing your suit.
But
Whoa.
Ah,
Giant germ?
yeah.
Looks to be the case.
So the Core X hasn't, absorbed our various suit, and it got really big as a result. I don't know what the correlation is.
it's very big.
Yeah, it's a very big, yeah.
Your two sizes too small.
Yeah.
Uncle, I grow to hate you more and more, but I can't.
Hey, I kind of need you to, stay still now. I think it's dead. Maybe.
Nah.
Yeah, there it
Oh,
is.
there it
Okay,
is.
yeah. All right, so the big Core X in that state is only vulnerable to charge beam, and then when it shrinks back down, missiles.
Well then.
Oops. So anyway, the standard procedure here. Let it roam around a bit, then give it a missile.
One more should
Actually,
do.
it's pretty close to a sweet spot. Yeah. Well, not really.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't spell sweet spot, but that's sweet.
Now you got your effect.
Now-
you have the effect recover, but not the suit.
No, not the suit itself. Yeah, we just got the effect recovery, but it changes our suit to a very garish fucking yellow.
Oh god.
I
That looks
hate
like a
ver-
thermal image.
I hate various suit in this.
Greg's
you know
right.
what?
You look like you're.
It
You
looks
look
like
at
a
through
thermal
thermal
image.
goggles.
That is very true. I never really made that correlation until now, but you know what? It's still fucking ugly. I hate various suit in this game because it just doesn't look pleasant. Look at this. The cold parasites think they can still harm us by heading into our body, but we're actually absorbing them now.
That's cute.
But this is actually a
cute
cool
when they
little,
try.
Again, Fusion telling its story through the gameplay, because you remember that the blue parasites just try to, enter our body because of, it worked earlier in the game, that Samus took damage from that. But now that after that blue parasite incident of 2002, they now know that doesn't work.
And they're running from you as
They're
a result of
running
it.
from you. Yeah. Look, that's
The Destroyer has come to collect us.
Exactly. That's very subtle storytelling. I love that.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It works well because the X-Parasite is supposed to have some sort of minor intelligence, opposed to just a brainless creature.
Yeah, another thing they kind of remark about is how the X seem to be deliberately making Samus's life difficult. And they're wondering, okay, well, is this the intelligence of the X, or is there something else going on?
Or did Samus just fucking make their eggs a little runny this
Yeah,
morning?
it's like she pissed in all the Cheerios.
It's an inside job.
Yeah. No, she didn't piss in someone's bowl of Cheerios. She pissed in the Cheerio factory.
Damn.
Now everyone's Cheerio bowls are pissy.
When I see how mean and vindictive they can get, I'm just glad I've been nice to every bowl of Jello I ever had. Because if my Jello had ever turned on me, I would not be here.
Nah, bro, I'm pretty cool.
I could go for some Jello now.
If
Yeah,
Jello
right?
turns traitor on me, I'll just eat it.
Yeah.
This is going to be the fattest revolution ever. 2 million Americans dead of diabetes out of the war.
We're coming to get you. Slowly, but we're coming to get you.
Do we got a forklift for this, buddy?
How did that X download the various suit data? I don't know. They had machines.
Sure.
But
They paid DLC.
yeah, it's a paywall.
At least they're honest about it. We don't know how it downloaded it, but it's all right. It doesn't matter.
I don't know, I should
Let's
keep
going.
taking my time because the in-game timer actually doesn't pass while you're in the middle of dialogue or door transitions.
Auto pause.
Pretty much, yeah.
What
this-
How I wish
That's what
Final
I always
Fantasy
call
9
it.
had that.
Ooh, HQ is making a plasma beam upgrade for my weapon. Hopefully, I'll get that sometime soon. I could really use one.
Yeah.
Ooh, now we get ice missiles.
Yeah, so they're working on ice missiles for us, which is in Sector 5,
Good enough.
appropriately.
It's a space colony arc.
At
Yeah.
the time, one of the biggest weapons changes, and Metroid games always had the ice beam and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
and then the missiles were just missiles and super missiles. This is probably the biggest change you've ever, where the ice comes
Yeah.
through your missiles instead of your weapon.
Growing up with Metroid is different. They go out of their way to they go out of their way to explain that because Samus is part Metroid, she is now really vulnerable to code. I said code again for some reason.
She hates, she hates
that-
programming.
She hates that matrix.
She hates programming.
But they HQ assumes because of her extreme vulnerability to cold, the ice beam is no longer compatible with her.
Zombie Samus.
Which is really, I always found a little weird because, it's not as if the ice beam comes out of her, it comes out of the suit. But then again, you think the suit is also organically attached to her. So whatever the suit goes through, she also has to go through in a neurological sense. So it's justifiable. But yeah, the reason why we don't have Ice Beam and the reason why they don't even bother giving us Ice Beam is because of our Metroid DNA inside her. So now we're in Sector 5.
Except, doesn't ice beam shoot out through a gun?
That's what I was saying earlier. That it's something coming out of the suit. Oh, I'm sorry, I went down.
One of the reasons that I always kind of thought that the Zero suit was basically, in a way, a part of the suit where it was the sort of the conduit between her and the suit. So her biology interacts with the Zero suit interacts with the main suit.
Yeah,
I always
which
took it like
other
that.
M explained as that being the case.
Yeah, where if you're looking at real life pilots, they would have the flight suit, where the flight suit is sort of a medium between them and the plane.
Yeah.
So I always took the Zero suit as something like that. Because she doesn't need the Zero suit. We've seen her in many swimsuits throughout the
It was
years.
something that was retroactively introduced.
Yeah, the
into
Zero
series.
suit was later.
Because, Metroid 1, Metroid 2, Metroid 3, when she took her suit off, it wasn't a Zero suit. It was a bikini or a sports bra.
Or the sports
Yeah.
bra, which in the
Or
first
a
game, the very
unitard.
first game, she looked wildly different.
Yeah.
She had
And you know
red
what,
hair.
though? One thing I was always glad that... Well, no, actually, starting with Super Metroid, they didn't really emphasize it. But one thing I'm glad that, starting with Super Metroid, they really emphasized was that, to be a space warrior of her caliber, you got to be packing some sort of physique.
Yeah.
And in Super Metroid, she's toned.
Yeah.
She has definitive masculine
She has
features.
fab abs.
Yeah.
Well, there was a whole big thing when Zero Suit Samus started, where the original character, they estimated her based on the height of the character and everything. They actually estimated the character to be about 6'1" and somewhere around 210 pounds, which is a very muscular physique, a tall character.
Yes.
Right.
So
I
then
think
when
like,
they introduced the Zero Suit character, it looked like they had scaled her down to about 5'7" and about 140 or 150.
but I think that's still not the case because I think even without the suit, Samus is supposed to be rocking over 6 feet.
Yeah,
she's tall.
Originally she was 6'1", and I love that. I like that as a character.
She's like an Amazon. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's different from what you usually see, because you usually, unfortunately they do try and do that with a lot of characters, and it stinks, but it does happen.
Yeah, she's got to have a pretty face. Her body needs to be petite and doll-like. It's like, no, fuck you, man. Bring on the muscle.
Yeah,
Because,
if I were to see Samus in a movie, there are a lot of young petite blonde actresses out there, but what I'd like to see is someone more like Gwendolyn Christie, who Gwendolyn Christie was in Game of Thrones. She was Brienne of Tarth, who is she's blonde, she's tall, she's very strong looking, and I like that as a character. That's my Samus.
yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. So now we got access to level 3 doors. Oh,
Yeah, level 3
you got
doors.
access to the data room so we can get power bombs?
Yep, I believe. No, we're getting the ice effect added to our missiles. You're thinking of the second trip, actually, Matt. Because we're heading back to this data room again later on. Because another thing that the X-Parasites are doing, as the computer will tell us, is that they're deliberately destroying data rooms now, because they know that's how we're getting power-ups.
Yeah.
Shit.
And,
Things are
good.
thinking way too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
That's not how I'm getting them.
Oh!
They're
That-
becoming
that-
self-aware.
That
was
bottle
that?
of ecstasy tried to attack you.
Yeah, it was like a fake energy tank it grew wings, and it was an X-Parasite because an X-Parasite came out of the damn thing.
Mimic.
Yeah, it mimicked an energy tank. Yeah, and by the way, can we go into detail for that a second? How exactly, the SAX is Samus at full power. How the hell is it at full power? How does it mimic power bombs and missiles and shit? I'm sorry, that's right. I have to kill you. And this is like a little puzzle area. So sometimes you have to deliberately let the X-Parasite roam and let it transform into a different creature. I don't know how that works with X-Parasites. All right.
Probably the
Hopefully it doesn't fly into me. Okay, good. That was close, but I
It's the
really
most
didn't.
puzzle-based I think anything in Metroid has ever really, really been.
Yeah. Oh, let me kill you. Let me not kill you. The thing about ice missiles is that it kind of makes killing enemies now a 2-part process. Because now you just can't outright kill things. They always freeze first now when you hit them with ice. Which means it takes another missile to kill them. But that you can do that or shoot a charge beam at them after freezing them. Because after
The
that...
charge beam would be more quicker.
Yeah, the charge beam and staging missiles.
Yeah, in the very first Metroid, the way the ice beam worked was you would shoot and it would freeze them, and then you would shoot them again, and that would cause damage. So everything actually took twice as many shots because it was freeze, hit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then I think Super Metroid was you would shoot, and then right before it died is when it would freeze.
And then we got another part of that here. So we have to kill this enemy. You see, every time you see a yellow parasite blinking white like that, that means it's on its way to transform into something else, or it's going to become something else. Because another thing that happens in this game is that sometimes X-Parasites will escape and invade another creature and transform it into something else.
Really?
The most obvious example I can think of is that in Sector 4, the aquatic region, there are times where if you kill one of the fish enemies, the X-Parasite of that fish will invade another fish and make a stronger version of that fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if the fish gets 2 X-Parasites, it will turn into the harder to kill one, which is the bigger purple one.
Yeah.
Which was a basic enemy in Super Metroid.
Yeah, but what I think is even cooler is that starting with... It's actually this sector, but later down the road...
Something's back there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Later down the road, we're going to run into space pirates in this sector, underwater. And if you kill a fish enemy, the X-Parasite will infest the space pirate, and it'll become a hybrid of a fish and a space pirate.
Gross.
Space
know.
fish?
Yeah,
Fish pirate?
fish
Gonna carry
pirate,
that weight.
space fish. No, that's kind of not really... I don't know. I can't really think of a name for that.
Fish zebetite. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Self-destruct sequence already?
But I love that. I love that kind of enemy design. It's
It's
a great
clever.
attention to detail to the lore they set up for the X-Parasites. That's how they work. Oh, I'm sorry, I went too far.
You're gonna have to get the Meredith for that.
Computer out.
So something fucked up.
We gotta go back to Sector 3?
Someone's messing in the main boiler room.
Motherfucker, the
That-
janitor's gone rogue.
Yeah. Oh man, we shouldn't. Who was that guy we made janitor? The one that won good game design. Oh, we shouldn't have made him the janitor. Now he's gonna blow up the whole space station, and we only got 6 minutes to get there.
And that's what we get for not listening.
Yeah.
Turn off the self-destruct sequence. No hablo inglés.
Yeah. Oh, of course. So how convenient.
Figures.
So yeah, if the main boiler goes up, the computer mentioned that it can trigger the self-destruct explosives the station is packed with. And you may be wondering, why the hell does a space station have self-destruct explosives equipped to them?
Because everything in space is equipped with a self-destruct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want what's getting in out.
It always threw me off that when you're building a base, the first thing
You're
you
in the
did
wrong
is
world?
fill the walls with dynamite.
No, I didn't open that door fast enough, and now I have to manually run through all this right here, because the speed booster would have taken me past all this, and I would have broken through the door. It would have saved it saves like 5-7 seconds at most, but
It's still that 5 or 7 seconds you want.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully I can just, make up for that in some form or fashion later down the road. I was debating whether or not to show off the Shine Spark trick. The Shine Spark Easter egg.
Which is...
It is a really convoluted chain of Shine Sparks that you do to get out of Sector 4 the unintentional way. Mm-hmm. And you get a small Easter egg message for doing that. Thing is that wastes a lot of time if I mess up. So I'm thinking of making a separate save file for it later down the road and show it off that way, because it is a cool little Easter egg. It's like the only time in the game where you can sequence break. Because other than that, Metroid Fusion is it's wrapped up tight in terms of what you can do, where you can go. Okay, I never really had this hard of a time getting off this guy. There we go.
I'm just going to let that joke slide by.
Yeah.
If you have a dirty mind like me, you know exactly where that joke
No,
was.
that's the kind of generation we live in nowadays. Oh, for fuck's sake. I made this jump earlier. There you go.
Sorry, Trinito, don't want to be alarmed.
Yeah. Senor John. Playing Fusion again, huh? Get a life.
I have it, and I keep using it to
Yeah.
annihilate all these enemies.
Yeah. It takes the form of a gelatinous parasite. Anyway, the 6-minute time limit is really generous.
Lava.
Is very
level.
generous.
Yeah, the 6-minute is very generous, so you don't have to worry about running out of time. Even if it's like your first time, I still had I remember the first time I was nowhere near close to running out of time. Thank you, actually. Thank you. Okay, good. All that time wasted on that fucking jump that I did earlier. Hey, you dick!
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah, Corax took the form of a human. But
That's pretty cool.
No,
It's-
there's the thing though, because those purple zombies that we ran into earlier used to be human hosts, and then they disintegrated or mutated.
They took over, the parasite took over the human and then left the ghoul in its wake.
Yeah. Well, that was a very triumphant Corax.
I'll say, what the fuck?
Yes.
Sorry about that. My phone triggered. It's on silent, but something else triggered. And
It was like a Twitter message.
well, it's
Very triumphant Twitter
very
message, that
complex.
is.
It's a lot of complex things. You wouldn't understand
Yeah.
it. It has to do with YouTube.
Lots of 2s and 4s and other shit.